Just take the hands to the belly. We can take the knees out to the side, feet together. So it's our last session in the hall for a few weeks. So we're just going to take a flow tonight, just, a random series of poses that I will create. And then we can start week 1 on the Zoom and then start a new sequence when we get back together in December, all going well. So for tonight, really, the emphasis is on just moving and breathing. I don't want you to get bogged down in the perfect posture or perfect alignment. We won't worry too much about too much instruction. We're just going to move and breathe and feel our bodies from the inside out. So with that in mind, just taking a moment to scan up through your body from the tips of the toes, just really tuning in to your space inside, letting go of any tightness or tension that you may feel as you just scan your consciousness up through your body, softening through the hips and the lower back, softening the belly, relaxing the shoulders and the back of the neck. Release your jaw and your forehead and eyebrows. And relaxing through the scalp. And then we'll just take the focus and attention to that full yoga breathing. You can start that breath in the belly, just allowing the belly to rise and fall with each inhale and exhale. And then moving that from the belly into the rib cage, into the chest. Exhaling from the chest, from the ribs, from the belly. Inhale into the belly, into the ribs, into the chest. Exhaling from the chest, from the ribs, from the belly. Inhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Inhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Just take a couple more full breaths. And then just release the breathing exercise and just allow the body to settle back into its natural breath for a moment. And then we'll hug the knees into the chest and just rock a little from side to side, loosening the lower back. And then we'll start with our warm-up stretches, taking the arms wide, dropping the knees to the right, turning the head to the left, reach out through the fingertips, soften the shoulder to the floor, And then pull the belly in, bring the knees up and over to the other side. Again, softening that right shoulder to the floor, twisting into the spine. And then gently bringing the knees back up, placing the feet flat to the floor, right ankle over left knee, pulling the left knee in, feeling that glute stretch into the buttock and hip. Good, placing left foot down, extending right leg up and getting into the hamstring stretch, pressing the heel away and breathing into the back of the knee. Let's switch sides, left ankle over right knee, pulling the right knee in. And then extending that left leg into the hamstring stretch. And then rocking up to sitting and extending the legs out in front, reaching forwards and using that reach to stretch into the shoulders and arm lines, stretching out the lats and the upper back. Let's swing the legs round and come to 4-point kneeling. Take a couple of breaths in your own pace, moving through cat-cow. Moving as slow as you can with as much mobility through your spine, flexibility through your spine. And now start to rotate the hands. See if you can get the hands all the way back with the fingertips pointing towards your knees. If that's not available to you, just go as far as you can manage and then take a couple of rounds of cat-cow here. And you'll feel a really good deep stretch through the wrist and the forearm as you press the mat away in cat, lengthening into those extensors. And then shifting the weight back a little bit off your hands and into your knees. You can take the tops of the hands to the floor, all the way to the wrist, fingertips facing your knees, and take some gentle cat-cows here, not placing too much weight into the hands. And then press back to child's pose and reach the hands forward so that you lengthen into the shoulders and lats. Coming back to 4-point kneeling, set up wrists under shoulders and knees under hips. And then without moving the shoulder girdle at all, extend the right arm out in front. The core must be really strongly engaged, the belly pulled into the spine. And then slowly place the hand down. And once again, no movement in the shoulder girdle as you transfer the weight and extend the left arm. And release. And then keeping the pelvis completely stable, extending the right leg away behind you. No lifting in the sacrum. And then release. Transfer the weight with no movement in the pelvis and extend the left leg away. And release. Good, just stretch it back again, tiptoeing the hands forwards and lengthening the upper back. Coming back to 4-point kneeling, either repeating that exercise if it felt strong, or opposite arm and leg moving together. Once again, not allowing the shoulder or pelvis, the shoulder girdle or pelvis, to move as you extend the limbs away. Take 2 on each side, or all 4 limbs once, one by one. And then again, just press back into child's pose and release the muscles that you've been working. And we'll tuck the toes and move to downward facing dog. And you can take a moment just to pedal out the heels, lengthening the backs of the legs into the floor. And then maybe take a single-legged dog, allowing the hips to open, hip flexors lifting. And then we'll lunge the right foot between the hands and drop the back knee, sink the hips down, stretch out the hip flexor on the left side. Placing your right palm down, lift your left arm up and just notice how that affects the hip flexor stretch. And then switch hands and make it a twist, really rotating the shoulder girdle, lifting and opening the chest. Add a quadricep stretch if that's available to you. And release, step it back to down dog. Once again, just pedaling out through the heels, lengthening the calves and Achilles. And then we'll land the left foot between the hands and sink the back knee. Come to our hip flexor stretch. Steadying out that breath. Deep inhale, full exhale. And then just grounding down through the left hand to lift the right hand up and notice how that affects the hip flexor. Keep the hips sinking down as you reach the fingertips up. And then switching hands, making it into a twist. And then you can reach for the back foot and add the quadricep stretch in if that feels okay. Good, let's release and step the back foot forwards. Just make this a passive forward bend, allowing gravity to deepen the stretch for you. And then softening the knees and pulling the belly in, we'll roll up through the spine. Coming up to stand, inhaling the arms and lift up. Exhale, hands to the heart, step the feet together, reset the body and the breath. And then we'll flow through some sun salutations. Let's inhale the arms up, exhale, forward fold. Step the right leg back, drop the knee to the floor, and we'll take a pulse. Inhale, reaching up. Exhale, sinking the hips down. 2 more. Inhale, up. Exhale, pulse. 1 more. Sink deep into the hip flexor stretch. Take your inhale there. Exhale, release. Inhale, stepping to plank. Just hold your plank for a couple of breaths, finding your alignment, your belly pulled in, hips in line with heels and shoulders. Sandra, just pick up the hips a fraction. Bit more, bit more. There you go, lovely. Push forwards through the toes, knees, chest, hover the chin. Try and keep the hips high for a moment and then release to the floor. Good. Baby cobra as you inhale up. And then exhale, push back into child's pose. Reset your breath. Then tucking the toes, moving to down dog. And let's put a pulse in here. Inhale, rising up onto the toes. Exhale, squeeze the heels down. 2 more. Inhale, lifting up. Exhale, squeezing down. 1 more. Good. And then we'll lift the right leg up into a single-legged dog. And just feel that stretch through the hips for a moment. If you can, bend the knee and really cock the leg up towards the ceiling. And then if you can, swing it all the way through to land between the hands, do so. Otherwise, maybe drop the hips and walk it forwards, back knee to the floor. Good, let's take a pulse. Inhale, rising up. Exhale, hips sink. Let's find 2 more. Inhale. Exhale. 1 more. Get nice and deep into the hip flexor. Take your breath there. Exhale, release. Inhale, step the back foot forwards. And exhale, forward fold. Grabbing a hold of the legs, get nice and deep into your stretch. And then release and roll up through your spine. Inhale, arms float up. Exhale, hands to the heart. Let's do the left side. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, forward fold. Left leg back, knee goes down. Just 1 inhale, the arms up. Exhale, hands down. Inhale, step to plank. Exhale, knees, chest, chin. And release down. Inhale, high cobra lifts. And exhale, child's pose. Chance just to reset the breath. Tuck the toes into downward facing dog. Let's put a pulse in. Inhale, rise up. Exhale, squeeze down. 2 more. Inhale, lift. Exhale, pulse 1 more time. And then left leg lifts, knee bends, hip opens, and really enjoy that stretch as you cock the knee up to the ceiling, pressing the right heel down at the same time. And then swinging left foot through, back knee to the floor. Just come up for 1 inhale. Exhale, hands down. Inhale, step forwards. And exhale, fold. Nice deep forward fold. Active stretch. And then roll up through the spine. Inhale, arms lift. Exhale, hands to the heart. Just reset the breath for a moment. And let's move on with our sequence. Inhale, reaching up. Sorry, everyone just needs to readjust, take some clothes off. Yeah, I have turned the heating off, I'm sorry. It always seems to take ages to click off. Yeah, have you not got anything under it? Bless you. Let's give you a quick drink then. Yeah, it's very unresponsive. It takes 5 minutes to kick in when I switch it on. 5 minutes to kick off as well. It's making my lips dry. Right, let's move on. Let's inhale the arms up. Exhale, fold. You can step the right leg back to runner's lunge, keeping the knee lifted. As we exhale, let's really get the hips low here. We'll take that pulse into a hamstring stretch. Inhale, picking up the hips and flexing the foot. Exhale, sinking back down to runner's lunge. Let's take 2 more. Really enjoying the stretch both in that left hamstring and exhaling down into the right hip flexor. Let's inhale, straighten the left leg, fold over the straight front leg, and really get into the back of that knee and calf. Take a couple of breaths. And then coming down into runner's lunge, we'll put a twist in, right hand down, left hand up, really rotating through the heart, reaching through the fingertips. And then dropping the top arm, see if you can bind your right hip and really turn the shoulders, turning the heart towards the ceiling. And then releasing both hands to the floor, we'll step to plank. Knees, chest, chin, or chaturanga. Up dog or cobra, and just take an extra breath in your up dog or cobra, really lifting and opening the heart, checking your shoulders are rolling down, and then push back into your child's pose. Reset the breath here. Tucking the toes, let's move to dog. And this time we'll pulse with the right leg lifted into single-legged dog. So inhale, lifting up onto the left toes. Exhale, squeezing the left heel down. We'll take 2 more. Inhale, lift up. Exhale, squeezing down 1 more time. And then looking forwards, we'll bring the knee towards the nose and get that really good abdominal crunch in, and then landing the right foot outside the right hand and spinning the back heel down. Check your heel to heel alignment, and then bending your front knee, gently rise up to warrior 1. So get your back heel down if you can, Chris. Good. Sink the hips, shoulders down, chest lifts. Let's put our pulse in. Inhale, lift. Exhale, sink down. 2 more. Each time taking you a little deeper into your warrior, but listening to your hips as well. Good. Nice and deep into warrior 1. Hold it there for a moment. And then we're just going to lift your back heel and turn it into crescent lunge. And then either stay here or hover your knee off your mat for a strong quadricep strengthener. Good. Bring the hands down inside your foot and drop into lizard lunge. So you can come to the elbows or stay on the hands, but get the hips nice and low. Coming back to the hands, let's step forwards with the back foot and catching both ankles or shins. Take a nice, really deep, active forward fold. Releasing the hands, let's roll up through the spine. Inhaling, the arms lift up. Exhale, hands to the heart. Good. Left side, inhale, reach up. Exhale, forward fold. Let's step the left leg back to runner's lunge. As you exhale, sink the hips down. Inhale, straighten the front leg and flex the foot. Exhale, pulse hips low. 2 more. Inhale, lift up. Exhale, pulse down. And this time, keeping the front leg straight and attempting to fold over it, stretching into the hamstring and back of the right leg. And then back to runner's lunge, placing the weight in the left hand and twisting up through the right fingertips. Don't collapse in the left shoulder, but rotate the heart up. And then slowly drop the top arm and look for the left hip and increase that twist. Good, hands down. Let's step to plank. Knees, chest, chin, or chaturanga. Up dog or cobra, and take an extra breath to really enjoy that back bend before pushing back to child's pose. And then we'll move to dog and into single-legged dog, left leg up. And we'll pulse through the right heel. Inhale, lifting up onto the right toes. Exhale, squeezing down. Let's take 2 more. Inhale, rise up. Exhale, down. 1 more. And then bringing knee to nose in high plank, engaging through the core. And then stepping the foot outside the hand and turning the back heel down. With the front knee bent, pressing through the soles of the feet, rising up to warrior 1. And we'll put a pulse in here. Inhale, lift up. Exhale, increase that stretch. 2 more. Inhale, up. Exhale, pulse. 1 more. And then sinking deep into your warrior 1, just taking a breath there. And then just lifting the back heel, coming to your crescent lunge. And then option to hover the knee. Breathe. And then bring the hands down inside the foot and lower to your elbows if you wish. Coming back to the hands, let's step the back foot forwards and take that active forward fold. And then rolling up through the spine. Inhale, the arms lift up. Exhale, hands to the heart. Take a couple of deep breaths to reset. So we're just going to add on to that sequence and just lengthen the flow a little bit. Putting in some extra poses. Let's inhale up. We'll start with a side bend. Just reaching the fingertips away, pressing through the opposite foot. Feel the waist lengthening. Inhale, coming up and going the other way. Inhale, back up. Exhale, forward fold. We'll step the right leg back to our runner's lunge again. Exhale, sinking down. This time straight to the twist, lifting up through the left arm. And then circle the top arm back. As it comes forwards, front arm joins it up to crescent lunge. Exhale, sink down and hold crescent lunge for a moment, finding the breath. And then we'll put the twist back in here, hands to the heart. Twist and hook the elbow outside the knee. Option to extend the arms away or even bind under the front thigh to deepen into your twist. Keep the hips low. And then we'll float back up to crescent lunge with as much core control as you can. And then hands to the floor, stepping to single or regular plank. Knees, chest, chin, or chaturanga. Up dog or cobra. And into child's pose, reset your breath. Stretch the arms away. Moving to down dog, let's lift the right leg up into single dog. Options to stay here or take your knee to your nose. And then meeting back in single dog. Everyone take the right foot, right knee to the right elbow. And then step outside your right hand, spinning your back heel down. And floating up to warrior one. Moving to warrior two, let's put a pulse in here. Inhale, rising up. Exhale, pulsing warrior two. Two more. Inhale, lift. Exhale, pulse. One more time. Good. And then elbow to knee or hand to floor for side angle pose, stretching the left fingertips all the way over. Gaze towards fingertips if that's available to you. And then circle the top arm down towards the floor. As it comes up, straighten the front leg and find a long triangle pose. Reaching the arms away from each other, stabilizing through the outside edges of both your feet. We're going to come up to reverse triangle. So if your weight feels very far forwards into your arms, you're going to have to really engage through the core and the soles of your feet, and then float the torso up and back. Keeping the legs straight and just sliding the left hand down the left leg. Feel that length through the waist. One more breath. And then circling the hands to the floor, we're going to come straight to standing split. So if you can, lift up from where you were. Otherwise, step the back foot in first. If you want it more advanced, look to bind your ankle or take your head towards your knee. Find your balance. Whoa, which I'm not doing. The 3, 2, 1, and finally come to stand without the left foot touching down. See if you can find Utthita Hasta, either holding the knee or extending the leg out in front. Find your balance for 3, 2, and release. Lovely balance, everyone. Wow, you're like statues. Shake it out. Really nice. Reset the breath. Let's inhale the arms, lift up. Exhale, forward fold. We're going to step that left leg back, sink the hips down, come straight to that twist. Left hand down, right hand up. And then circle it back and come up to crescent lunge. Sink down into your crescent lunge. And then finding that twist in crescent lunge, hooking the elbow, option to extend arms or bind under the front thigh. And then slowly float back to crescent lunge. Hands to the floor, stepping to single or regular plank. Knees, chest, chin or chaturanga. Up dog or cobra. And into child's pose. Reset your breath. Tucking the toes under into downward facing dog. Option to lift that left leg up and take knee to nose. And then back to single-legged dog and left knee to left elbow. And then everyone step outside the left hand and spin the back heel down. And with strong legs, floating up to warrior one. Good, nice deep lunge into your front knee. And then opening to warrior two and adding the pulse. Inhale, lifting up. Exhale, pulsing deeper. 2 more. Inhale, lift. Exhale, pulse. 1 more. Getting nice and deep into warrior two. Settling into the posture. And then moving to side angle pose, either elbow to knee or hand to floor. Gaze towards fingertips if that's available. And then circling the top arm down, just straighten the front leg as you float that arm up and come to a long triangle pose, enjoying that stretch through the legs. And then engage your belly, use your core to float you back, up and back into reverse triangle, and really get that stretch through the waist as you slide the right hand down the leg. And then we'll circle the hands to the floor and make your way straight to standing split. Option to bind or fold head to knee. And then Utthita Hasta, trying to get there without the right leg touching down. Great, and release. Just come straight to your breath for a couple of breaths. And then release. Well done, everyone. Have a quick drink, shake out. How are you getting on? Yeah, you look like you're doing fine. No, it looks good. Yeah, really good. Because actually, I think tonight's a bit harder than because I'm kind of throwing you into it. Okay, so when we're ready, let's inhale, float the arms up. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, step to plank. Let's just hold our plank for a moment. And like we did in 4-point kneeling earlier, let's see if we can extend one arm. Now, there will be a bit of a shift in the shoulders or hips here because it's kind of impossible otherwise. And then switch, the other arm extends. But try to minimize the movement and try and engage as much through the core as you can. Extend one leg away. And switch to the other leg. And then knees, chest, chin or chaturanga. And up dog or cobra. And we'll press back into a threaded child's pose, taking the right arm under the left and sinking the hips back. And then here from threaded child, just take your right cheek to the floor and turn your head to the left, and then float the left arm up. And as you do so, just sort of lift up and out of the right shoulder a little bit. So you're pressing a little through the right arm. That will give you more rotation in the shoulders. And then release. And we'll just come up to sitting, tucking the toes underneath, stretching out through the feet, pushing the knees forwards. And then taking that into downward facing dog. Right leg lifts into single-legged dog. Bring your knee to your nose. Push the mat away into high plank. And then back to single dog. And then we're going to make our way to sitting. So step or hop both feet forwards. And extend the legs out in front. We'll come straight into Paschimottanasana, forward fold, reaching for the legs. An opportunity to stretch out the legs and the back muscles. And then coming back up, we'll move it to Janu Shasana. So bending up the right leg, just maybe soften, open the hip and knee a little. If you're a bit tight or knee problems on this side, just keep the foot low on the left leg. If you're a bit more supple, you can bring it a bit higher into the groin. Before you lengthen forwards, just lengthen upwards. So move your ribs out of your hips. Take a slight twist to the left, and then just slide the hands down towards the left foot. And then soften into the right hip, into the left hamstring. And if your right shoulder is lifting, just gently squeeze it back down and stretch out through the right lower back. Keeping a hold of the left foot in the left hand, let's take that lovely side bend. So to get into this side stretch, I really like to open this angle up a little bit more. So I like to sort of really turn to the side, and then trying to stack right shoulder directly over left. That really increases the twist, the side stretch, pardon me. Then reach the arm up and over towards the foot, keeping right shoulder above left rather than allowing the shoulder to drop. And then lifting up and out of it, we'll take our Ardha Matsyendrasana twist. So just bringing the right knee forwards a little bit and then stepping the left foot over the top. Now, if your left buttock is off the floor, which it's very likely to be, just try and settle it back to the floor next to your right heel. We're going to be looking over the left shoulder. You can either just hug the right knee, the right arm around the left knee, or you can attempt to hook with the elbow. And then we're just going to settle here for a few breaths. And each breath should take you a little deeper into that twist, working with the exhale to just move the shoulders round a fraction more. Inhale, look to the front, untwist, and I'm afraid we're going to go for cow face from here. So if cow face is really too much for you, you can just take the left leg behind you and come to straight forward pigeon, because this is a double pigeon, really. It's a bit of a double whammy. Cow face pose, you're trying to get the knee stacked one above the other and the feet level with each other. So you'll feel it really strongly in both buttocks, otherwise into pigeon pose, sweeping the left leg back. Oh my goodness, I've been running today, so this is tough for me too, you'll be pleased to hear. You can fold forwards into it if that helps. Take a few deep breaths. It is a pose, fortunately, that sort of feels better the longer you're in it. Kind of releases. Let's slowly come out of it. However you do it, make your way to down dog. And just pedal out through the heels for a moment. And then coming back to plank or 4-point kneeling, you've got an opportunity to extend opposite arm and leg, either from plank or 4-point kneeling. If you're doing it from plank, have your feet nice and wide. Very difficult if the feet are together. Attempt 2 on each side. And then drop the knees and thread your child, left arm under. Just start with Straightforward threaded child. And then resting your left cheek on the floor, turning the head to the right, and lifting up and away slightly out of your left shoulder. Reach your right fingertips up. Release and make your way to dog. Left leg up into single dog. Bring it to your nose. Back to single dog. And bring it to your left elbow. Back to dog. Both feet to the floor. Step or hop to sitting. Extend the legs out and take that forward fold. If that phone call came through on the recording, apologies if it did. And then gently coming up. Good, Jani Shasana on this side, so just opening the hip, the left hip and knee, and then placing that foot according to how your knee feels. Lifting ribs out of hips and slowly returning. Let's fold and reach for the foot. And take a few deep breaths, just lengthening into the tightness of the hamstring, squaring back the shoulders, stretching out through the left side lower back and into the left hip. And then we'll gently come up and take the side bend, just opening the ankle of the knee, catching the right foot in the right hand. Stack that left shoulder over the right and lengthen left fingertips over. Try and press your left sitting bone back to the floor, lengthening into the left side waist. And then just moving, sorry, I've lost my mic. Just moving into your twist. So bringing the left knee forwards. And then just stepping the right foot over the top. Right, so left knees forwards, right leg steps over the top. We're going to take the right hand behind the back and then we just hug or hook that left elbow or arm. And twist your comb through the shoulder. And release. And then just stepping either back to pigeon with the right leg forwards or coming to your cow face pose. to return into the legs.